Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to dive into the world of bash scripting and turn some simple lines of code into your very own personal assistant. It's basically like teaching your computer to handle all the boring stuff for you.
I mean, really, just stop and think about that for a second. All those tedious digital tasks, renaming a bunch of files, backing up your folders, organizing your downloads. What if you could just make them disappear? What if you could write one little command and your computer would just take care of it for you, forever?
Well, it turns out you totally can. And that's where the bash script comes in. It might look like just a simple text file, but trust me, it is packed with power. Think of it as a direct hotline to your computer's brain, ready to take your commands and become your own personal automator. All right, let's get into it.
So, to build our bot, the first thing we have to do, well, we got to teach it how to think. We need to give it a brain so it can actually make choices on its own. And that brings us to our very first key concept.
And the way we do that is with something called conditional logic. It sounds fancy, but it's really as simple as it sounds. You're basically just telling the script, hey, if this one thing is true, then go ahead and do that action. This is literally how we give our script the ability to react to different situations. It's the brain of the operation.
Okay, let's look at a real-world example. This script right here, iflf.sh, is the perfect illustration. So what you're seeing is we've set up three variables, a, b, and c, and we've just given them some numbers. Then the script just runs through a little checklist using if and else if to compare them and figure out, okay, which one of these is the biggest.
Okay, but here's a crucial step. Before you can run any new script, you have to give it permission to run. A super simple command for this is chmod 777. The way I like to think about it, it's like giving your script a key to the car. You're telling the computer, yep, this code is legit. You have my permission to execute it. It's a quick, one-time thing you do for each new script.
All right, so once we've given it the keys, we run it, we type in that little command, /ifelsif.sh, we hit enter, and boom! The script does its thing, follows the logic we gave it, and tells us A is biggest. Which makes sense, right? 1,000 is bigger than the others. And just like that, you see the direct link between the code you wrote and the decision the computer made.
Okay, so our bot can think. That's awesome. But what about actually doing the work? I mean, a great assistant doesn't just do something once. It can do it over and over and over again without ever getting tired or making a mistake. And that, my friends, is where loops come in. And for that, we have something called the for loop. It's our main tool for any kind of repetition. It's basically you telling the computer, hey, see this list of things? Do this exact same action for every single one of them. It's perfect for any task that needs to happen more than once, whether it's 10 times or 10,000 times.
Let's check out a super simple example to see how this works. All this little script, loops.sh, is doing is saying start at 0 and keep counting up one by one and print out the number until you hit 9. It's a really basic but really powerful example of a loop in action.
And what's the result? Well, you run it, and it does exactly what we told it to. Bam! It prints the numbers 0 through 9, one after the other. No fuss, no mistakes, just perfect, clean repetition.
So counting numbers is cool and all, but let's look at something a little more practical. Look at the script on the left. That little star, the asterisk, is a wildcard. It basically means everything. So that loop is going to go through and list every single file in the directory. But now, check out the one on the right. By adding .txt, we've told it to only work on files that end with .txt. And that is where the power is. You can target your automation to exactly what you want.
All right, this is the moment we've been building up to. Our bot can think, it can repeat things. Now let's put it all together and build something that's actually useful. Let's build our first real automation, a script that creates backups for us.
We're going to combine everything we've learned so far. We're talking variables to hold info and commands to get things done. The mission: create a script that can grab, say, an important folder and save a backup copy somewhere safe. And here's the cool part. Give it a unique name with a timestamp so we always know exactly when that backup was made. So how does this thing actually work under the hood? It's really just 4 simple steps. First, we just set the stage. We tell it, okay, this is the folder you're copying from, and this is where you're putting the backup. Easy enough. Second, we make a unique name for it by grabbing the current date and time. Third, we just stick that backup path and the new timestamp together to create the final file name. And last, we print a little message so we know it's actually working. See? The whole trick is just breaking down a big idea into these tiny, manageable chunks.
And when we finally run our masterpiece, this is what we get. It spits out a confirmation message with the exact timestamp it created. Now, what you don't see here is that it's also creating that actual compressed backup file in the background. So every time you run this script, boom, a new perfectly timestamped backup. You've just automated a super important task.
So there you have it. In just a few minutes, we've gone from zero to a working backup bot. We've laid all the groundwork, but look, the real magic happens when you start thinking about how to use this for your own stuff.
So let's do a quick recap of the tools you now have in your automation toolkit. You've got variables, that's for storing info. You've got conditionals, the if statements, that's the brain. You've got loops, the for command, that's the muscle for doing all the repetitive work. And you can mix all of that with thousands of other commands to get pretty much anything done.
And that really brings us to the big question, the most important one. I've shown you the building blocks, right? We've built a little bot together. So now, think about your own day-to-day on the computer. What's that one boring, repetitive, annoying thing you do all the time? What's the first thing you're going to teach your computer to do for you?